everyone, I'm Inspector Shelley from Ajax Fire and Emergency Services. We really miss going into the schools and teaching you about fire safety, but I'm happy that you're home safe. And I'm actually home today too, and I'd like to read to you my favorite story, No Dragons for Tea. And I'm going to talk to you about a contest we have at the very end of the story, where you could win this backpack. Inside the backpack will be all sorts of fire safety activities to keep you busy while you're home safe. Now, when I have story time at my house, I like to have a nice cozy blanket and a cup of tea. The only thing is, sometimes tea can be hot, and with all hot liquids, it's important that we're safe. So I'm actually going to move this mug sort of to the center of the table, just in case one of my dogs bumps into it, because we know we can get a burn from a hot liquid, and we want to keep everyone safe. The story's called No Dragons for Tea by Jean Penzawal. One warm sunny day at the end of last week, my mom and I went for a walk to the creek. As I raced down the hill in my little red wagon, I veered to the left and smacked into a dragon. I suppose he could see there was fear in my eyes as I jumped to my feet, quite filled with surprise. He sheepishly grinned and stepped out of the way, but he seemed so polite that I asked him to play. He had a cute bear and some other toys too. With my shovel and pail, we'd have oodles to do. We ran to the creek and then on to the bay, where we played on the beach for the rest of the day. Then Mom waved and said, "Now it's time to go eat. Let's pack the red wagon and head up the street." It's hard to stop playing with friends old or new, so I asked if the dragon could come to eat too. Mom wrinkled her brow and squinted her eyes, looking up at the dragon's incredible size. I begged and I pleaded, then said very sweet, "We won't make a mess, we'll be tidy and neat." So at last she said, "Yes, just this once I'll agree. You may have the dragon come over for tea." We had carrots and apples, thick slices of ham, with fresh homemade biscuits and strawberry jam, cold glasses of milk and a great big dill pickle, but the pepper we sprinkled sure made my nose tickle. Then the dragon's nose twitched and he started to wheeze. His eyes misted up and he blew a great sneeze. Achoo! Well, we all know what happens when dragons achoo. Flames shot from his mouth and from both nostrils too. Our tablecloth sparked and then burst into flame, and the curtains that hung right beside did the same. The smoke alarm rang. What a loud, piercing sound! It meant, "Get out fast," so I dropped to the ground. The room filled with smoke as I crawled on the floor and started to make my way to the front door. The dragon got scared and decided to hide, but I knew when there's fire, we must get outside. I grabbed his thick tail and with one mighty tug, I pulled that big dragon from under the rug. I crept down the hallway and said, "Follow me. I know the way out. We must meet by the tree." So Mom and the dragon and I all met there. Then that silly old dragon, he went back for his teddy bear. We ran up and caught him and wouldn't let go. And I said, "Listen, dragon, here's what you should know. Don't ever go back. That just will not do. We can get a new teddy bear, but we can't replace you." Since the fire was burning inside of our home, we went to the neighbors to borrow the phone. Mom knew what to dial and said calm and clear, "Here's our full street address. Send the fire trucks here." Before very long, down our street they came sailing, with bright red lights flashing and loud sirens wailing. The fire crew rushed to start work on their tasks. They were dressed in big boots and wore helmets and masks. They hooked up the hose and ran into the house, where they sprayed streams of water in order to douse. The table, the curtains, our lovely snack too, and it didn't take long till that fire was through. The fire chief called out the door with a shout. The smoke made a mess, but the fire is out. My poor friend the dragon knew he was to blame, so he hung down his head and wept great tears of shame. One of the fire crew said, Don't be sad. You knew what to do, and for that we're quite glad. You all got out safely, that's really what matters. Then she took us to see the big pump truck and ladders. The dragon put on a shiny red hat, and I asked to see where the fire crew sat. She showed us the siren, the hoses and lights, and the ladders they climb up to reach higher heights. The rest of the fire crew checked all the rooms, while a fan in the door blew out gray smoke and fumes. Then the dragon and I, we sat down for a while. I reached up and hugged him. He gave me a smile. The next time the dragon and I want to play, we'll pack up a picnic and go to the bay. We are friends, tried and true, the best we can be, but I'll never again invite dragons for tea. The end. Thanks for listening to our story. Now I'd like to talk to you about a contest we're going to have. You'll need a grown-up to help you with this because we'd like you to send your answer to our email address, which is firesafety@ajax.ca. At the end, I'll ask you a question, but in your email, please include your first name, the name of the school that you go to in Ajax, and if you'd like us to contact you by phone, please leave your phone number. So here's the question. In the story, No Dragons for Tea, the dragon did two things that were not safe. What two things did the dragon do? So write your answer down on your email as well as your first name, the name of your school, and your phone number. This contest is open for children ages 4 to 8 years old who live in Ajax. Thanks very much, everyone. Be safe.